students. Hope all of you doing great. Myself Bala Krishna Virala, so faculty in the computer science department. And in this session, we are going to discuss about the BARC exam related. So generally, most of the students are appearing the BARC exam, and they have so many questions like what will the pattern of the exam, and what is the strategy they have to maintain, and what could be the sample questions. Okay, so we'll just go through about all the details about the BARC exam, right? So now let's see like what are the things we are going to discuss in the in this session. In this session we'll discuss about the BARC exam, right, and about exam pattern and cutoff and important subjects and practice questions. Like about the BARC exam generally, so most of you know about it, even if you Google also you can do that. And especially what I want to say is that we are having so many PSUs in India, and one of that BARC is also one of the best PSU, and they directly maintain the separate computer science engineers for their projects. Like for example, if you take other PSUs, right, what are the other PSUs? You are having ISRO, and next DRDO, right? So next this BARC is also one more, is that clear? So like this, we are having so many PSUs. Whatever the PSUs we are having, you are having like PSUs. IOCL is there, IOCL is there, ONGC is there, and the next POSOCO is there. So I'll just write down that also. IOCL, so ONGC, and POSOCO. So these are the PSUs available for computer science engineers. There are so many other PSUs also available. So they specially maintain their own computer science engineers for their projects. Like for example, if you observe the most of the other government sectors, computer science engineering related work, CSE related work, that will be outsourced to the other companies. Like for example, if you take railways, railways, they have so much of computer science related work, so but they will outsource it to somebody, maybe like TCS, Tata Consultancy, or maybe like Infosys. They give the outsourcing to other people, maybe other private companies, or private software companies. But there are some core PSUs, they don't outsource their work, they maintain their own computer science engineers. Right, so ISRO is there, Space Research Organization, I think all of you know this. DRDO, Defense Research, right, and next BARC, Bhabha Atomic Research Centre. So these people maintain their own computer science engineers. Now for example, I want to say, as a computer science engineer, if you want to show your potential, your ability towards the work, right, especially in the core concepts of your computer science, so these are the areas you can think of. Right, so ISRO, they use their own computer science engineers. Like for example, so I recently spoke to the people who are working in ISRO and even DRDO. So they said that in the DRDO they are currently using the real-time operating systems, VxWorks, SXWorks. So what are the operating system they are using, what kind of protocols they are following, and what kind of coding they are doing. So I mean, like your actual potential, if you want to show in the government sectors jobs, so these are the PSUs you are having. And so I mean, every PSU is having complete different strategy. Some PSU will have a directly recruitment through the gate exam, and some PSUs will have their own exam. Like for example, if you take about ISRO and DRDO, they have their own exam. But if you take IOCL or ONGC or POSOCO, so they recruit through the gate exam. And BARC is having like a mix. They recruit through their own exam and also through what gate. So both the ways they are going to recruit. Right, so every PSU is having their own criteria. So some PSUs will conduct their own exam, some PSUs will recruit through the gate exam. Right, so we need to go through, like if you can just go through their website and the recruitment process, you will understand all that. So every PSU is having their own criteria of recruitment. So that is what they follow. And so let's move on. So what is going to be we discuss in this session. Now understand here, especially understand here BARC. I told you already, BARC will also recruit through their own exam and also through what gate exam. So after the gate exam, if they have any vacancies, they will call directly. So those who are toppers, maybe for depending on the score, they will call you, right? So through gate exam they will recruit, and also through their own exam they will recruit. And okay, so upcoming exam whatever is there, okay, it is coming in the month of September, okay, right? So maybe in the, I think the dates are announced, I think 22 to 27, so very soon they are having exam. So okay, so this exam is okay, their own exam, okay, so they are recruiting the through their own written test exam, right? Written test. So understand here, if you observe in their own exam, okay, so they categorize into, okay, two types, OCES and DGFs. Now okay, in this okay, for example, after the written exam they will decide, okay, so these people, those who are going into this section, they will have a 1 year training. Those people who are going in this area, they will have a 1 year training in their own centers. 1 year training, okay, their own centers, okay, where they are having centers in Mumbai, okay, so Kalapakam, these are the places, Indore and Hyderabad. So they are having their own centers, and you will go through 1 year training, okay. So if you choose this one, and next if you choose this one, okay, you will go through, okay, 2 years training, 2 years training, okay, like research fellowship training, okay, whatever, they will take care of it. So you will be trained, okay, for the 2 years if you choose this program, okay, so that is in the IITs and okay, NITs, okay, maybe like they will select okay, BARC Mumbai, and maybe like they are having their own I mean, you can choose, and depending on the availability of the seats, there are so many other criteria. So and where the program is running, where their program is running, because they want the specific coding skills, they want the specific line of training for their projects. So that is the reason, okay, in some IITs they are going to train for 2 years, because like for their projects, what is their requirement, okay, so what kind of knowledge the student I mean, like person, candidate is required. So special rigorous training will be given, okay, for the 2 years, okay, so that once the training is completed, so they will be directly placed into the project, they will be directly placed into the project. So that is the scenario. So if you choose this one, okay, right, so you will have a 2 years training in the IITs or in the top NITs, and if you choose this one, okay, you will have 1 year training in the BARC centers only, right? So which one to choose, that depends on your score, okay, right? So you will have an option. So once the written exam is completed, based on your result, some students will go into this area, some students will go into this area, right? So the toppers will go into this area, and maybe depending on the score, next level toppers, okay, will go into this area, okay, right? So that is about okay, these two categories, okay, if you go through their own written exam, right? So next let's move on to the next one. If you observe the exam pattern will be, syllabus will be mostly common, through the gate exam, and you will have some additional subjects also, like okay, especially if you talk about computer science, you are having the additional subjects like OOPS concept, like object oriented programming, right? And next you're also having software engineering and web technologies. So that additional, okay, 3-4 subjects are there. But remember, so like I mean, like what advice, okay, like what I can say is, now the exam is very nearer, so I suggest don't read anything extra things now, okay, don't read any new topics or new concepts, okay, in this okay, upcoming days. Exam is very nearer, so please don't read any new things, okay, in these upcoming days. Is that clear, right? So whatever the preparation you have done, okay, so please okay, practice rigorously whatever the questions, okay, practice the questions rigorously, and revise your notes and whatever the concepts you have studied. So I don't recommend to study, okay, new things in the upcoming days, okay, right? So fine. So I'm repeating, so syllabus will be common with respect to the gate, but in addition to that, you will have additional subjects like okay, object oriented programming, web technologies, and software engineering, okay. So you can see, I mean, a few questions based on the OOPS concepts, a few questions based on software engineering, okay, in the exam, right? Next, understand important thing here, the trick, okay, look at here, you are having 100 MCQs, there is no numerical type questions, whereas if you observe the gate exam, you are having numerical type questions, and recently they have also introduced okay, MSQs, multiple selective questions, but okay, in the BARC exam you are having only MCQs, multiple choice questions. You will have the four options will be given, and among that one option will be correct, okay. So only MCQs are there, understand? Yes, so 100 MCQs are there, and 3 marks each. So it means that the total paper will be what, 300 marks. Total paper will be of 300 marks, okay, fine. and the time duration is what? Only 120 minutes. So that is only 2 hours. Now you need to understand what is the important trick here is, okay, time is very less. Okay, you are having 100 questions and you are having only 120 minutes. It means like maybe like 1 minute to 1.2 minutes per every question. So understand here, and next important thing is what? Negative marks is what? -1 negative marks for each wrong option. It means like 1 mark negative, 1 mark, 1 mark negative is there for every question. Now, based on these 3 points, you need to analyze the important thing. You need to maintain the proper speed in the exam, so that then only you can able to read all the questions, so that then only you can able to attempt all the questions in the exam paper. Understand here, you are having 100 questions are there, only 120 minutes is there. 100 questions are there, 120 minutes is there. It means like your practice should be very rigorous, then only it is possible to attempt, because even to read the question it will take sometimes 15 to 20 seconds. 15 to 20 seconds required to read the question. If it is a lengthy question, it may take more time also. So after understanding the question, it will take around 10-15 seconds at least, right? So after that, solving the question, okay, you should solve only maximum 50-60 seconds you have to solve, not more than that. You can understand average you can spend only 1.2 minutes, 1.2 minutes for every question. So you need to maintain a very proper speed, okay, very proper speed and accuracy. So that is the important trick, okay, in the exam. That is the important trick. You have to maintain the proper speed and accuracy. And I will tell you the next important thing, when I talk about the time management here, 100 questions are there, only 120 minutes is there. So now in the exam you will not have any chance, that okay, you are reading the question. Let's say you feel like, okay, this question is very tough, okay, I will come back and try to reattempt the question once again. That possibility is not there. It's very difficult, okay, to have that kind of possibility. Why? Because time is very less. So what you have to do is, whenever you read the question in the exam, you have to decide that whether you are solving that question at that point, or you are completely leaving that question, okay, in the exam. Why? Because okay, you are solving all the questions and coming back and reattempting that question which you left. So that is very difficult. So when you are reading the question, so spend the question around 15 seconds or 20 seconds or maybe half minute. You spend, read the question very clearly, understand that, and if you feel that you can able to solve that question, okay, in 1 minute, maximum 1 minute, then you try to finish and solve there. And if you feel that the question is going to take more than 2 minutes or 3 minutes, or maybe sometimes more than 3 minutes, if you feel that the question is going to take 3 minutes time, so please leave that question. Because you need to attempt every question in the exam, because the paper will be completely mix of all type of questions. Easy questions will be there, moderate questions will be there, and some tough questions will be there. Now just because of solving one question, you are taking 3 minutes and 4 minutes, and in the end you left around 3-4 easy questions, because the time you are not able to manage the time, and you left the 3-4 questions in the end. So that will give you the bad result. So please understand this, okay, whenever you are reading the question, is an important trick you have to maintain the exam. Okay, you have to maintain in the exam that when you're reading the question, so please you have to decide, spend half minute time, 20 seconds, half minute time, and you have to decide whether you are able to solve that question in 1 minute, or you are going to solve that question in maybe in the 3 minutes or more than 3 minutes. Now some students are asking like, sir, how it is possible to decide? It is going to take 3 minutes or 1 minute. See, remember, that is where your experience matters. That is where your practice matters, right? Because you have already practiced so many questions, you are already done the preparation. So based on your experience, based on your practice and preparation, you need to decide whether you can able to solve that question in 1 minute or more than 3 minutes. If you feel that okay, it is taking more than 3 minutes, so better leave that question. Better leave that question because okay, because of solving this 3 minutes question, and if you are leaving around 3-4 questions in the back, okay, which are very easy. Okay, maybe like fortunately or unfortunately, if they are very easy questions, you left them. So then that will give you the very bad result. That will give you very bad result. And remember, okay, whatever the question you left that, okay, it is coming back and solving that question is very very difficult, very difficult. So if you observe the okay exam pattern, also exam pattern, they are checking your speed and accuracy. Speed and accuracy. So hardly every question, okay, they will be giving only 1.2 minutes, means you can imagine what kind of speed you have to maintain and what kind of accuracy you have to maintain. And remember, important point, negative mark is -1. It means okay, negative marks are very high, one third, almost like okay, like I mean like more than one third, 3 marks every question, right? So -1 means what? More than one third, is that clear? So it is like okay, so negative marks are having a lot of impact. So you need to maintain a very proper speed and very proper accuracy in the exam. Okay, so I'm saying like, so please never guess, make any guess. Okay, if you feel you are 100% sure about the answer, then only you take that. If you have any minute chance, like okay, if you have any doubt, okay, maybe like you can make the guess only after eliminating. Okay, if you want to make a guess, okay, after eliminating the two options, if you are having doubt between the remaining two options, you can make a guess. But even I don't recommend that also. I don't recommend that also. In case if you want to do, you can do only the guessing after eliminating two options. Maybe that is also for maybe 1 or 2 questions. It is not like you are making the guess of all the questions. So personal my recommendation, so please don't make any guessing. Is that clear? Because badly like guessing does not work in the exams. Guessing does not work in the exams, especially okay in the competitive exams. Okay, guessing does not work. Okay, right? So I'd suggest and I'd recommend, so don't make any guessing. So if you're 100% sure about the answer, so then only give the okay, mark the answers. Fine. So what is the okay important trick? I'm repeating. So speed and accuracy is very important, and you have to judge the question whether you are able to solve that question in a 1 minute or it will take 3 minutes. If you feel that it's taking more than 3 minutes or 3 minutes, so you better leave that question and move forward to the next question. Okay, right? So nobody is going to solve all the 100 questions, so you don't need to worry about that. Even if you are leaving that okay 1-2 questions, okay, which are more time consuming, and if you maintain the proper speed and accuracy, so that is enough. And in case if you are lucky, okay, in the end if you have time, okay, you can come back, that is different case. But I don't think you will have a time. Okay, so because time is very less. Okay, fine. And next, now virtual calculator is allowed. Now remember, virtual calculator is allowed, but this is again like, I mean, I don't know like how you are going to maintain, or how you are user friendly to use the virtual calculator, because virtual calculator, it is having its own advantages and disadvantages. Like for example, if you are having a small calculation, so that is fine. Okay, it is better to use virtual calci, that is fine. If you are having any very big equation, like for example simple additions you want to do, like for example 250 multiply with the 18, okay, plus 30 multiply with the okay 35, you are having something like this. So if you want to do this with a virtual calci, you have to type so many things. Okay, you have to click 2, you have to click 5, you have to click 0, you have to click a star symbol, again 1, again 8, and you have to maintain the proper brackets. Okay, right? So if you do simple okay mistake while okay clicking the virtual calci, also what, okay, that will again give you wrong answer. So I mean, I recommend, if you are having if you are very clear okay using the virtual calci, then go for the virtual calci, use the virtual calci. And if any small calculation is there, don't use virtual calci. Okay, if any small calculation is there, simple calculation is there, so do it manually only. Is that clear? Because virtual calci, okay, again will take time consuming, and again you have to click the properly, because on the screen you have to click all the symbols, okay, very buttons, and whatever the buttons they are given, so you have to click that very clearly. If you do that okay, I mean mistakenly, if you press instead of 2 you are pressing 3, again that will also give you wrong answer. Using calci will also give you wrong answer. Okay, right? So make sure okay you are having habitual to use virtual calci, and if any small calculation is there, do it by manually. Is that clear? If you feel okay that is definitely requires okay use of calculator, so then only go for it. Simple addition is there, simple multiplication is there, so better don't use virtual calci. like especially in the computer science, okay, right, I don't think you are having any big calculations, so mostly you'll have any small calculations will be there, so you can comfortably manage, okay, manually doing the calculation, okay, right. So fine, so that is about okay, virtual calculators. So mostly numerical, okay, right. Any questions are there, okay, you are having and this is not applicable for us, maybe for other branches, maybe numerical questions are asked, but with respect to computer science, some theoretical questions also there, because there are some subjects like okay, computer organization, operating system, some theory concepts also there in the computer networks, okay, computer networks, there are some theory things are there, okay, so some theory questions also there in the, okay, exam, okay, we will see the sample questions, you will understand what kind of questions they are asking, right. There will be a mix of all varieties, like numerical questions also there and some theoretical questions also there, okay, fine, we'll see the sample questions, and so that you will have clarity, so what kind of questions okay, they are expecting, they are asking in the exam. And next, okay, coming to the interview, 1:20 call for interview, it means what, so if you are having one vacancy, and 20 people will be called for interview, if you are having one vacancy, 20 people will be called for, okay, interview. So, and coming to the, okay, vacancies, now somebody thinking, sir, how many vacancies are there, okay, so frankly speaking, okay, coming to the number of vacancies, they have not released, okay, total how many vacancies are there, so they have not released anything about the vacancies, but based on their previous okay, like I mean recruitment process, we can expect around 20-25 okay, vacancies will be there, 20-25, so I don't think not more than 25 vacancies will be there, okay, right. So especially in the government sector, especially in the PSUs, okay, so number of jobs for computer science is very less, so you can expect around 20-25 jobs, so not more than, okay, 25 vacancies. So but anyway, so they have not given any clarity about number of vacancies, so that will be done, okay, after the exam recruitment process completed, so they will release at the end, they will decide how many job vacancies are there, so based on that they will call, okay, for the interview, okay, when the, I mean, like 1:20 pattern, okay, fine. Next, now coming to the stipend and allowances, okay, during the training. So I mean, as a PSU, like they will maintain the proper accommodation, residence, and okay, stipend will be given to you. So okay, stipend will be what, okay, 55,000 per month for OCEFs and DGFs, that's what I said, and one time book allowances of 18,000, maybe for one time book allowance in the, like that, maybe for you need to purchase anything, or maybe for traveling and all that, okay, so that is okay, 18,000, and this is a 55,000 per month, okay, that is the stipend, okay, during the training. So I told you already, so OCEF, you will have 1 year training, and this will be 2 years training, so in the training period, so that is the amount you are going to get. And next, coming to the salary, like once your, okay, training is completed, maybe like 1 year training or 2 year training, okay, depending on whatever the selection process you are going through. So if it is a 1 year training, okay, like OCFs will have this is the package, and DGFs will have this is the package, okay, like it's a good decent salary, okay, being a computer science engineer, and that to be PSU, so if you are having 1 lakh per month, that is a decent salary in India. And don't think in terms of the salary, okay, don't think in terms of salary, so you can think about other facilities, like accommodation, right, so accommodation is also important, transport is important, and health related insurance, so there are so many other facilities, you can imagine, like you can go through their website, I mean all the details are given to you, what kind of facilities they provide to the employees, okay. So but coming to the other things, like for example, if you are going for MTech in IITs, okay, so let's talk the reality. So if you go for MTech in IITs, you have you will be placed in the private companies, like private software companies, like okay, maybe like Goldman Sachs, okay, you know, like Visa International, okay, right, so Salesforce, okay, maybe Google, Microsoft, Facebook, Amazon, okay, so you know these companies, so if you are placing after MTech, okay, IIT MTech, okay, so if you are placing in these kind of companies, your starting salary will be around 15 to 20 lakhs, okay, if you have a more potential, okay, some companies are giving 30 plus also, okay, Goldman Sachs will give you 30 plus salary, 30 lakhs per annum, more than 30 lakhs sometimes, so there are so many companies, okay, you can go through the Google, so many details are available, so you, I mean, I don't need to discuss about that. So what I'm trying to say is, if you go for IIT MTech, your growth will be different. Your growth will be different. So your starting salary will be, okay, 15 to 20 lakhs. So if you are more capable, okay, your starting salary may be 30 lakhs, and your growth will be in the same manner. Okay, like if you are starting your career with the 30 lakhs, like after MTech, IIT MTech, you are starting your career with a 30 lakhs package, your growth will be in the same manner. Like you can settle in abroad, so that option will be there. Even if you settle in India, you will be in a very good position, and the same kind of salary increment will be same manner. Okay, but if you choose this kind of job, I mean, they will be paying like a 7th pay commission, like a central government job. I think 7th pay commission is going on, and increment will be in the normal manner. Like you cannot say you are jumping the company. In the IT industry, what happens now? 2 years or 3 years you are working in Goldman Sachs, and after 3 years you are jumping into Salesforce. After 3 years you are jumping into Microsoft. So again, the salary hike will be very huge. But remember, that is not the case here, because once you have chosen this job, obviously like you are going to retire in this job only. Is that right? You cannot jump from BARC to other PSU or other PSU, maybe some one PS to other PSU. Jumping is not possible. So you will be treated as a permanent employee, and so when you are choosing this job, so permanently you have to retire, okay, work in this company, in this PSU for your entire career. Okay, so that is the disadvantage. But okay, advantage is like, okay, it's a kind of security, right? Obviously you are having proper security of your job, and salary will be like a constant salary. With a decent salary, you will have a decent life. So it is your choice. Okay, it is your choice what kind of expectation, what kind of human being you are, what kind of a person you are. So if you go for the private job, so there will be like challenging works. Every day the new projects will come. Okay, so every day new work will come, every day new challenges will come. So if you like to enjoy that kind of job, so then that is better. So if you like okay, simple decent life, okay, here also you have challenges, but compared to that IT, like private jobs, okay, that will be less. Comparatively, that will be less work pressure, and decent salary. Okay, so I mean, we cannot say like which is best. If somebody is asking, some students generally ask me like, okay, whether this is best or that is best. So I don't say, I'll explain him like, so these are the advantage of this and disadvantage of this. And if you go for private IT jobs, okay, like IIT MTech, after that if you go for job, so that kind of facilities and that kind of jobs will also have advantages and disadvantages. So it is purely your decision, like what kind of job you are expecting and what kind of a person you are, right? So depending on your choice, your interest, you have to decide whether to go for this or that. Is that clear? Right. So anyway, so once you're selected, if you have any confusion, so you can reach on to me, you can reach on my email. So then we will discuss okay, proper discussion, which one is better for you. Right. So next, eligibility criteria. So I think most of you know this. So there are so many clearly given. So computer science students, BE BTech, okay, 5-year integrated MTech students, minimum 60% aggregate is required, and applicants opting considering to be based on the GATE score must have a valid GATE score of what? GATE 2021 or 2020. I think okay, they are asking only the valid GATE score of 2020 or 21 GATE. Okay, right. So next, age limit, okay, on 1st August 2021. So general category will be 26 years, OBC 29, and SC/ST, that is 31. So I mean, these are the general details. So you can just know, just for the information purpose I have given. So next, and coming to the salary, okay, so I told you already, right? So grade and pay scale will be scientific officer C, okay, level 10. I think this is a band, and the basic pay will be this. Basic pay will be this, and as per the 7th pay commission. So I told you already. And okay, don't think like a basic pay is a 56,000. So they add like HRA and all that, other so many facilities, that comes around 1 lakh, okay, per month. Okay, fine. So salary details anyway you will come to know. Okay, don't worry. So next, coming to the cutoffs, okay, if you see the, I told you total how many marks? 300 marks paper, right? So because 100 questions, okay, we are having 100 MCQ questions, and each question is 3 marks. So total 300 marks. So I'm giving the topper details here. In the 2020 also we had an exam. So the topper got okay, computer science topper got okay, 182. So it means what you are understanding with this, okay, important point, what is okay, what you are understanding with this is okay, only speed and accuracy is important. Don't try to attempt all the questions. Attempting all the questions is not required. How many maximum questions you are making correct? how many maximum questions you are making right. So that is important in the less time. How many maximum questions you are making right in the less time. So that is important. Okay. So how you are managing the time, how you are managing speed and accuracy matters. It is not compulsion that you need to attempt all the questions, every question you are attempting, and even if you are not able to solve in 3 minutes, you are spending more time on that. So that is not required. If you feel that it's taking more than 3 minutes time, so please leave that okay question. Okay, so maintain that, so understand that point. Okay. So coming to the next things, okay, examination details, schedule, I think that is already given to you. So now the exam is in the month of September, that is this month only, right? So I think dates of they were given are 22nd to 27. So tentative, because all the branches students are writing. So electrical, electronics, okay, other branches, mechanical, all the branches people are writing. So based on that, okay, so you can see your schedule. I think I mean dates have already released. Okay, so 22nd September to 27 they have given. So in between any day, right? So I think these are the details already, candidates will be allowed to book a exam slot in the August. So I think already you have done. So probable time of interview, okay, once your selection is done, interview will be in the October, and final merit will be, okay, displayed in the month of November. And the dates are tentative because okay, so there are so many like COVID rules are there, COVID conditions, maybe like don't know, like dates may be tentative, so it may postponed. Okay, so preponed is not possible generally, so sometimes may be postponed. Is that clear? So constantly go through, those who are writing the exam, constantly go through their website. Okay, there are updates, so you can see like what are the dates. I think they will give you, like if your selection is done, so they will intimate through mail. So okay, everything they will intimate through mail, so you don't need to worry about that. And coming to the syllabus, syllabus is obviously matching, okay, completely matching with what okay, gate syllabus. If you observe syllabus, okay, you are having algorithms, data structures, theory of computation, TOC, computer organization, computer networks, database management system, operating system, digital logic, compiler, discrete maths, engineering maths, object oriented programming, web technologies. Sometimes okay, you will have questions based on software engineering, maybe 1 or 2 questions here and there you may get software engineering also, right? So almost 90% syllabus matching with the okay gate syllabus only, okay, right? So I mean this extra syllabus OOPS concept or any web technologies, if anybody already studied the OOPS concepts and web technologies, you can refer the basic theory questions, okay, right? If you are already studied just for revision purpose, you can do that. But if the first time you are doing, so please don't okay, study these topics, not required. Okay, maybe 1 or 2 questions you may expect, so even if you leave that questions, so no, doesn't matter. If you are already prepared and just for revision purpose you want to do, then you can do that. Okay, so you are I mean this is the first time you are learning these subjects, object oriented programming and web technology, software engineering. So first time you are learning, so I mean I don't recommend so in the next upcoming days, because we have a very short duration for the exam, very short duration for the exam, and these days you are preparing the new subjects, so that is not recommended, that is not recommended. Okay, fine. Okay, so and next very less questions from the maths, okay, right? So that is also given. So they focus core mostly on the core subjects only, they are focusing mostly on the core subjects, very less questions on the okay maths. So this is already like we have gone through all your previous questions of the BARC, previous exam papers of the BARC, and based on that research, so we made analysis that okay, so very less questions asked in the maths, okay, that is about engineering mathematics. So most of the questions are okay from the core subjects only. Okay, fine. So fine. Now let's see some sample questions, okay, right? So there are mixed type of questions, some easy questions are there, some tough questions are there. So we'll just go through some questions so that we'll have understand like what kind of questions. Now look at here, sometimes they are very easy questions. Okay, so let's see this. Okay, so what is the question is asking? I have directly taken from the paper these questions. In C programming, the operator and, okay, look at it, operator and. So this is ampersand. Okay, so you can say and or ampersand. Okay, is used to represent. Now understand here, so that is okay, logical and, bitwise and, logical or, bitwise or. So these are the options given to you. Now tell me like what is this purpose? Okay, so generally most of you know that that is used for what? Bitwise and. So what will be the logical and? Logical and means you need a double ampersand. Double ampersand is used for logical and. Okay, so this is for logical and. So if you are using only one ampersand, so this is called as what, bitwise and. So this is the bitwise and. So this is a part of bitwise operators. Like for example, if you are using, okay, if you are printing something like okay, let's say if I say printf percentile d, so let's say 5, okay, and 10. Okay, so 5 and 10 if you want to print this. So 5 and 10 binary operands, binary bits will be, okay, performed and will be performed. So okay, just for easy understanding I take smaller number. Oh, right. So let's say, okay, so understand here, so like I'm writing once again. So if I say printf percentile d, okay, if you say for example 5 and 3, 5 and 3, so what will be the answer? If I say 5 will be represented in the binary 101, so 3 will be represented in the 011. So you are going to perform bitwise and operation between, okay, every, okay, bit, 2 bits, these 2 bits. So 1 and 1 will be 1, so 0 and 1 0, so 1 0, that is 0. So if you print f percentile d, okay, 5 and 3, what will be the answer you get? 1. So every bit will be performed and operation. So that is called as okay, bitwise and. So that is the right answer. Okay, right? So if you know, I think most of the students, I think you should be knowing this. So these kind of questions, it will not take more than 1 minute also. Okay, if you are obviously aware of this, if you know the difference between what is logical and bitwise and, so you can solve this in less than 30 seconds. Right? So reading the question, maybe like even if you read very slow also, it will take around 10 seconds, and answering that it will take maybe in 10 seconds. So half minute maximum you can solve. Okay, right? So some questions will take more, less than half minute or less than minute. Okay, some questions may be taking more than 1 minute. Okay, right? Depending on the type of the question. Right? So I'm repeating, logical and will be what? Okay, double ampersand, and bitwise and will be what? Single ampersand. So single ampersand he has given, so that is the bitwise and. Okay, fine. So next is the next question, sir. Now he's saying the FIFO scheduling, first in first out scheduling. If you observe first in first out scheduling, okay, he's saying that preemptive scheduling, non-preemptive scheduling, deadlock scheduling, or fair share scheduling. Now tell me, like FIFO scheduling means what? First in first out. Like okay, they call it as a first come first serve also. Okay, you can say FCFS also, right? First come first serve scheduling, what is the criteria we follow in the first come first serve scheduling? First come first serve scheduling, the criteria, okay, we follow is okay, arrival time. Okay, understand here, criteria we follow is the arrival time. It means what? When more than one process is ready for execution, the decision making of selecting the process will be done based on the arrival time, so whatever the process coming first, that will be completed totally, and the next process, next arrival time, okay, next, that will be completed totally. So it means what is the type of scheduling we follow? That is a non-preemptive scheduling. Non-preemptive means what? Okay, the process will be, okay, once it is scheduled onto the CPU, once the process is scheduled onto the CPU, we are not going to preempt the process until it completes the total execution. Once the process is scheduled onto the CPU, we are not going to preempt, we are not going to disturb the running process until it completes the total execution. So that is called as what? Okay, non-preemptive scheduling. Okay, right? So I think most of you know that. So this is also a question you can solve in less than 1 minute. Okay, if you are aware of this, so that will take less than 1 minute. Okay, let's see move on to the next questions. Now, in a binary tree given to you below, right? So this is a binary tree given to you. Which of the following? Let me increase the size. Is that clear? Right. So which of the following is in order? Okay. Right. Which of the following is in order? Right. In order. Okay. In order, pre-order, and post-order traversal respectively. So now look at here. So you can just sometimes, so these kind of questions, sometimes you can make some elimination technique also. The first one is asking in order, next is the pre-order, next is the post-order. So the first post-order, okay, understand here, just easily eliminate. Post-order route will be visited. Listen carefully. Post-order, the route will be visited in the last. Okay, right? So what is the post-order? So okay, look at here. So post-order may, what is the rule we follow? Post-order. Okay, so first you visit the left subtree, and next right subtree, and next root. Correct? So this is the process we follow in the post order. Left subtree and next right subtree, and the next is a root. So root will be visited in the last. So it means A should be last in the post order. Now we see the option A. A is what? Okay, A is not the last one. Okay, understand here? Okay, so if you observe the option A, C is visiting in the last. So this is not a post order at all. In the post order, look at here. So root will be visited in the last. So option A is absolutely wrong. No need to check anything also. And option B is also what? Absolutely wrong. So that is not a post order at all. And next, if you see the option D, okay, right, okay, instead of solving all that, just see like what is the difference. If you see here, post order may, okay, A should be last. Okay, A is last. If you observe the post order of these two, okay, D, H, I, E, B, okay, F, J, okay, G, C. So both are same. Okay, so don't worry about that. Post order is same. And next see the pre-order. Pre-order both are same. Okay, D, B, E. Okay, right. A, F, C, J. Look at here. Pre-order is also exactly same, matching. Right. D, B, H, E, I, A, F, C, J, G. Okay, now see the in order. Okay, so in order is a different one. Okay, look at here. So in order here, okay, last में okay J है, okay, last में G है. Now just solve only in order. You can find out what is the right answer. So okay, right, these two. Okay, you need to decide between these two. Right, let's solve the in order here first. Okay, so I follow the different technique. Okay, look at here. So I follow this technique. First time visiting, you write in the in order. Second time visiting, first time visiting, you write in the pre-order. Second time visiting, you write in the in order, and third time visiting, you write in the post order. So I'm solving in order. Okay, first is the okay. Look at here. You come from here. First time visiting, second time visiting. The first element is what? In the in order. Where is this? Okay. First one, okay, what is said? Okay, sorry, first one is the in order, right? Okay, in order. Second one is the pre-order. Second one is a pre-order. Okay, so I'm thinking about a in order here. So second one is a pre-order. So we have to think about pre-order, right? Pre-order में क्या होगा? Let's finish pre-order is easy. Pre-order is a difference here. Pre-order first time visiting. What is a pre-order? So I write here. Okay, so first time visiting A. Okay, I'm writing the pre-order because pre-order there is a difference. Let's find out only pre-order. So A, okay, next B, and next is a D, and after that, okay, next is what? E. Okay, so next is the H, and next I. Okay, and next if you go there, next is the C, and okay, this is F. Okay, and next is what? G, and next is a G. So this is a pre-order, right? So now check which is matching here. Okay, so A, B, D, okay, E, H, I, C, F, okay, G and J. So option C is matching. So C is the right answer. Right, so you can solve all that in 1 minute. Okay, if you know the proper technique, and otherwise you can follow some elimination technique also, right? So C is the right answer. It will take only 1 minute time. Okay, it will also take 1 minute time. So that is how, okay, you solve the problem. Next, if you observe this one, consider the following 4 processes with the length of CPU burst given in the milliseconds using the shortest remaining time first scheduling algorithm. Okay, calculate the average waiting time in milliseconds. Average waiting time in milliseconds. Now, understand here. So, I'll explain, okay, how this is going to be solved. Okay, he's asking what? SRTF algorithm. He's asking average waiting time. So, this question, okay, will take around 2 minutes, right? If you are having proper practice and speed, okay, it will take 2 minutes. So you need to solve this. Okay, it will not take less than 30 seconds. Some questions are theory based questions are there, so that will take only 30 seconds, but this will take around 1.5 minute, 1 minute or 1.5 minute. So you can solve based on your speed and accuracy. So it's asking you to use what? Okay, shortest remaining time first. So now understand here, time always starts at 0. At the time 0 only P1 is there. So first start with the P1 first. P1 requires 8 units of time, but you will execute only 1 unit. Because in the SRTF, for every 1 unit of time, you need to identify who is the shortest job. So execute only 1 unit. So that is 1. Okay, so remaining time will be 7. And next, by the time 1, do you have any other process available? Yes, P2 is also available. See the arrival time here, 1. By the time 1, P2 is also available. So now you need to compare between P1 and P2. If you compare between P1 and P2, who is the shortest job? Okay, see that. Who is the shortest job? P2 is the shortest job. So next you are going to take the process P2. Now P2 requires how much time here? 4 units of time. But you will execute only 1 unit, because for every 1 unit of time, every 1 unit, we are trying to find the shortest job, because it's a shortest remaining time first. Okay, right. So execute 1 unit, so that is 2, and the remaining time will be 3 here. And next, present time is 2. By the time 2, is there any other process available? Yes, sir. P3 also available. Right. Now tell me, like, among the available, what is available? P1, P2, P3. Among the available, who is the shortest job? So that requires 7, this requires 3, this requires 9. Who is the shortest job here? Next, okay, P2. So P2 requires how much time here? 3. Okay, now look at here, but execute only 1 unit. So let's say 3, so remaining time will be 2 here. Now present time is 3. By the time 3, all are arrived. Now all the processes are arrived already. So remember, once all the processes arrived, no need of checking one unit of time. Because once all the processes arrived, you clearly know who is having the shortest job. So why you are checking one unit of time? You are waiting for all the processes to arrive. You are waiting for all the process to arrive. So once all the process arrived, okay, no need of checking one unit of time. So you clearly know who is the shortest job. Who is the shortest job? So just continue, right, with the shortest job. So that is a P2. So execute totally. So P2 still requires how much time here? 2. So that is 3 plus 2, that is 5. And that is completed. So that becomes 0. Next, among the available, now present time 5, all are available. Among the available, next shortest job is what? This requires 5, this requires 9, that requires 7. Next shortest job is P4. So take the P4 here. So P4 requires 5. So 5 plus 5, 10. So that becomes 0. And the next shortest job is P1. So take the P1 next. So P1 requires 7. So 10 plus 7, that is 17. So that is 0. And the next one is the last one. So that is P3, and P3 requires 9. Okay, right? So 17 plus 9. Okay, so 26. So please check the calculations. Okay, if any calculation mistake is there, so please excuse me. Right. So this is how, okay, you need to solve. And in the question is asking what? Completion time. So okay, so I'll just give you the hint. Okay, so solving the total question, it will take more time. I think you can comfortably solve that. So let's see the completion time. I think which color should I use? Okay, I use this. Okay, so completion time. So tell me, P1 completion time. P1 completion time is here 17. Okay, 17. P2 completion time. Okay, that is 5. And P3 completion time. Okay, 26. And P4 completion time, that is 10. So let's take the turnaround time. So how you find turnaround time? Completion time minus arrival time. So that is the, okay, turnaround time. 17 minus 0, that is 17. 5 minus 1, that is 4. 26 minus 2, that is 24. And 10 minus 3, that is 7. Next, let's find out waiting time. So how will find out the waiting time? Okay, waiting time. Okay, so look at here. So turnaround time minus bus time, right? So 17 minus 8. 17 minus 8. So I think 9. Correct. So that is okay, turnaround time. So I'm writing the formula here. Waiting time formula, turnaround time minus bus time. So this is a formula. So we're having turnaround time and bus time. So 17 minus 8, so that is 9. Correct. And 4 minus 4, so that is 0. Correct. And next 24 minus 9. Okay, 24 minus 9. Okay, how much is that? 24 minus 9. Okay, so that is 15. Correct. 24 minus 9, 15. Is that correct? Okay. So next is what? This one 7 minus 5, that is 2. Okay, fine. So let's make the calculation, whatever is pending. So this is how much here? Okay, 11 and 15. Correct. So 9 plus 2, 11, 11 and 15. So this is how much here? 26. So 26 divided by 4. Okay. So find out that answer. Okay, 26 divided by 4, I think you can solve that. So let me check. Right, so 26 divided by 4, how much is that? 6.5. Is that matching? Right, okay, fine. So this is 6.5. So 6.5, is that matching? Yes, sir. B is the right answer. Okay, right. So, okay, you guys are more, very clear and fast in calculation. So you can solve in less than 1-2 minutes. Okay, so that's a simple question only, but you should solve in a proper manner. If you do mistake, you get the wrong answer. So 6.5 is the right answer. So fine. Next, let's see the other questions. If you observe the next one, in the round robin scheduling, so this is a good question. Okay, just give it a try. Okay, if you want to solve that, just give it a try. In round robin scheduling, as the time quantum increased, the average turnaround time. So understand here, so most of the students, okay, when I discuss this question generally, okay, they will do it in a wrong manner. So, okay, so right, in the round robin scheduling, as the time quantum increases, understand here, in the round robin scheduling, when the time quantum increases, the average turnaround time, what is going to happen for the average turnaround time? So it increases or decreases or remains constant or varies irregularly. Understand here, so generally, okay, if you solve with one example, okay, right, sometimes you may get okay, increasing, sometimes in some example it will increase, and sometimes some example it will decrease. Okay, so actually right answer is what? Okay, right answer is varies. In some examples, okay, it will increase, and some examples it will decrease. Okay, so you need to imagine like what is the example you have to take with respect to time quantum and their arrival times and bus times, in which it will increase and in which it will decrease. So actually this is one of the logical question in the CPU scheduling, right? So anyway, I'll just give you the small example how it is going to be. Now let's say, okay, let's see, I use a white on the blackboard. I think black background, white is good. So okay, so how this is okay, varies irregularly. Just listen here, I will give the example so that you can easily imagine. Let's say the process number, arrival time, and bus time. Okay, just listen here. So let us say you are having three process, P1, P2, or let's say four process, P1, P2, P3, P4. So let's take the arrival times are 0, right? And next, let's say for example the bus times you are having, okay, let's say 4, 4, 4, and this is okay, 10. This is 10. Okay, right. Now understand here, if I take the time quantum, okay, so right, so if I take the time quantum as okay, here if I take time quantum as 1, so then what is going to happen? Listen here, if I take time quantum as 1, at what time the P1 will complete? Okay, so I think 4, 4 will is the okay larger values. I take 2. Oh. Okay, so look at here, so I think shall I use this? So it is behaving differently, right? I write once again now. Okay, so I write once again. So see here, let's take the process number, arrival time, so the bus times. So let's take this 1, 2, 3, P1, P2, P3, arrival times are 0, 0. Let's take 2, 2. Okay, let's say this is a 10. Now let us say, for example, if I take time quantum as 1, time quantum as 1, let's see what is the behavior. So okay, now you start with what? P1, arrival times are same. So start with the P1, P1, P2, P3, round robin, right? So first you take P1, 1 unit, and next you take P2, so 1 unit, that is 2, and next you take what? P3, so that is 1 unit, so because time quantum 1, so that is 9, and next you take P1, so for 1 unit, that is 4, and next you take P2, okay, so that is 0, and that is 5, and next you take P3, so the last process is there, so 9 plus okay 5, so that is 14. Now you see here, if I take time quantum as a 1, time quantum as a 1, observe carefully values, what is the behavior here, observe carefully. So if I take time quantum as 1, P1 completion time is 4, P2 completion time is 5, and P3 completion time is what? 14. Now let us say if I change the same example, if I take time quantum as a 2, let's see what will happen. Now you see the complete difference here. Okay, if I take time quantum as a 2, then what is going to happen? Tell me. So P1 will complete at the time 2, okay, because that is time quantum 2 है, so time 2 पे complete हो जाएगा. So next you take P2, P2 will complete the time 4, and next if you take the P3, P3 will complete, P3 requires what? 10, so it will complete at the 14. Now you see here, now the P1 completion time is completely decreased. Look at here, now it's only 2. So in this example, P1 completion time is 4. In this example, P1 completion time is what? 2. In this example, P2 completion time is 5. And in this example, P2 completion time is only 4. So what is going to happen if this is the case? In this example, if you are increasing the time quantum, Okay, here time quantum is 1, here time quantum is 2. If I increase the time quantum, so average turnaround time, what is going to happen? It will decrease or increase? Average turnaround time will decrease. Average turnaround time will decrease. Because here the completion times are early, completion time is early, average turnaround time will decrease in this example. If you are increasing the time quantum, average turnaround time will decrease. Now let's take other example, how average turnaround time will increase. Okay, so I use a complete different slide so that you will have more clarity. Let's take this example here. Let's say process number, arrival time and bus time. Okay, now understand here. Let's say 1, 2, 3, same arrival time 0, 0, 0. Let's take 10. Okay, let's say for example, okay, let's say for example 10, 1, 1. Okay, you are having example like this. Now let's see the time quantum. Time quantum is 1 here. If I take time quantum 1, now tell me what is the completion times here. So P1, okay, first you start with P1, so 1 unit, so that is remaining time 9. And next is the P2, so it requires only 1 unit, time quantum also 1, so that is 2, that becomes 0. And next is a P3, so 3, so that becomes 0. And next you take P1, so P1 requires 9, so that is 12. 9 plus 3, that is 12. Now tell me, in this example, okay, P1 completion time is 12 and P2 completion time is only 2. P3 completion time is only 3. Now remember, if I increase the time quantum to 10, now you see what is going to happen here. If I increase the time quantum to 10, so what is the danger it is happening? Look at here. So danger, see the danger here. So okay, let's say arrival times and so it's already there, so no need to copy this. If I increase the time quantum to 10, or let's say for example, let's say time quantum to 5. Okay, so let's take the time quantum to 5, not require 10. So let's say if I increase time quantum to 5, so then what is going to happen? Listen here. So P1 will execute how many seconds here? 5 seconds. So remaining time will be 5. Next your P2 will come. P2 requires only 1 second, so it will complete the time 6. Next P3, that requires only 1 second, so that is 7. And remaining 5 seconds, next you take P1, so 7 plus 5, that is 12. Now you see here, if I increase the time quantum from 1 to 5, so P1 completion time is 12 only. There is no change. P1 completion time 12 only. But P2 completion time is 6. See there, lot of increase. Okay, drastically increased. So here P2 completion time is only 2. Here P3 completion time is only 3. But here P2 completion time increased to 6 and P2 completion increased to 6 and P3 completion time increased to 7 here. So in this example, what is happening here? Average turnaround time is increasing. It means what? In some examples, you can have an example, okay, where by increasing the time quantum, average turnaround time will decrease. That is your first example. Okay, look at here. So here average turnaround time is decreasing. Okay, right? And in this example, if you observe, average turnaround time is what? Increasing. So we can have variety of the examples like this. So that is the reason when you are increasing the time quantum in the round robin, sometimes it will increase, sometimes it will decrease. So right answer is what? Varies. Is that clear? So this is a good question. So generally most of the students will do it wrongly, right? So they imagine with one example. So you should have this kind of imagination. What happens with various examples, then only you can answer this question. Is that clear? So I hope okay. So I think you clarified. I have clarified all that. Okay, fine. So I think we are taking more time. So let's move on to the next question, sir. So next question, understand here, if you observe this, is a simple question. Okay, where does the swap space reside? So swap space, okay, generally that is called as a backing store. Sometimes it is also called as a virtual memory. So swap space will reside on the disk. Is that clear? So he's saying about RAM, ROM or on-chip cache. So that is not possible. So swap space, okay, is also called as a backing store. Sometimes it is also called as virtual memory. So that is part of your hard disk. So straight away, if you are having the knowledge about the swap space, you can directly tick okay answer as a okay. So B. So it will not take more than 30 seconds also. Okay, right? So these kind of questions are also there. So it means like how many questions you are making correct in the less time. So that is the okay important trick in the exam. Is that clear? Right. Okay. So fine. Next, let's move on to the next question. The scope of a variable refers to. Scope of a variable refers to. So what is the meaning of scope? How do you define the scope? Definition of the scope is in the C language we'll study the storage classes. The storage classes mainly deals with the scope and lifetime of a variable. Scope and lifetime of a variable. So scope defined, how do you define the scope? The scope can be defined as the region in which the variable is available and accessible. Accessible is called as a scope of a variable. The region in which the variable is available or say accessible is called as the scope of a variable. So that is part of the storage classes in the C language. Okay, so what kind of storage classes we are having? Okay, so I think all of you know that. So auto storage class and static register and okay external. Is that clear? Right. So scope okay mainly talks about the accessibility of a variable. Is saying that length of a variable, so that is the okay not the right answer. So name of the variable, so that is absolutely meaningless. Data type of a variable, so that is also not related to scope. So accessibility of the variable is the right answer. Okay, so sometimes many students know what is the meaning of scope, so they don't know the what or the proper exact definition or a proper exact meaning of the scope. Is that clear? So that is the reason in the class sometimes I say okay, you should have a proper definitions and you should have a very systematic notes with all clear-cut definitions and clear-cut points. Because if you go for any interview, somebody is asking scope and you know what is the meaning of scope, but you cannot able to explain, you're not able to explain that, so that is really bad. So you don't require like very high capable English or what, okay, not required. So whatever you are trying to imagine, like whatever you want to explain, if you are able to explain that in a proper simple okay meaningful okay English words, so that is sufficient. Okay, right. So scope means accessibility of a variable. Okay, right. So there are these kind of questions also there. It's a combination of some theory questions, some numerical questions, some logical questions. All varieties of the questions are there. Some questions will take less than okay 1 minute. Some questions will take more than 1 minute. So it is your experience and your decision making skills should decide. If it is taking more than 3 minutes time, you have to skip that question immediately and okay move on to the solving the next question. Okay, fine. So that is the trick I want to say. And the next in case okay if you still have a time, after completion of the exam, okay, if you still have a time, luckily, then whatever the questions you left, you come back and you try to solve that. So if you have a time, okay, you come back and solve the remaining questions, then that is well and good. Is that clear? So fine. So that's all from my side. So okay, so thank you so much. So I gave you the required information, right? So valid points, hopefully like so you like the session. So thank you so much, and so my heartful wishes and all the best for all the aspirants who are appearing the BARC exam. So all the best, do well. Okay, so be confident in the exam. Okay, maintain smile on the face, keep learning, keep smiling. So thank you so much, right? All the best for your exam.